Hello, this is Kittens cycling in Ireland, but today I'm cycling in Korea, my home country. I'm at this lovely place called Hadong, Gure. There's a peak of Korean cherry blossom. It's a beautiful road. Perhaps this is the place that's most famous for Korean cherry blossom sightseeing. I'm thinking of doing like 30 kilometer, 13 kilometer, 14 kilometer cycle. Maybe a short one. You can see how beautiful it is. So yesterday was a full blossom, and today you can see some of the leaves are falling. But still, it's very beautiful. I think this will continue until like later this week, maybe in the weekend or something. And there's the official cherry blossom festival going on, but it's finished now. And this is a place called Hwagejangto. It's like it has the tradition goes back to like a couple of hundreds of years during the Joseon dynasty. The place that three provinces they merged together, so it was kind of a center of like logistics. Now I personally I find this place becoming like too touristy for me. I think the place got even more crowded than yesterday. It looks like the parking lot is basically full. If it was in Europe, not even Amsterdam, if it was in Dublin, I would have definitely cycled on the roadside. But I don't really have guts to go on the car road in Korea. You see the bridge over there? If I after I cross that, it'll be fine. Like yesterday, I used this camera here. I purchased this camera, A7C2 camera just about like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and I've been keep using it. Amazed by the quality, the picture, the video that it produces, and I also have like 16mm lens here for vlogging. You can see that's the ND filter attached here. That I thought it would deliver a similar stabilization as physical gimbal, like the one that I have this here in DJI Pocket, but that sounded actually too good to be true. Is nowhere as good as the physical gimbal, and the footage was very shaky. The sheer quality coming from the camera is really addictive. I can't really go back. Like it's like tasting a world's best champagne or wine and going back to the cheaper version, you know. But today I'm running out of time and I couldn't have any other option just to use my Pocket 3. Thank God I actually brought this camera from Dublin because I was thinking just using that full frame camera only that I'm gonna purchase. Yeah, it's been a lifesaver, and I bet this footage will look good as I have experience in it. And the view. I'm never giving up the camera, and so I'm thinking of buying DJI RS4 Mini. I think that gimbal will best suit my needs. I have to go right from here. That's a deck cycling road. Beautiful, beautiful road. Oh, it says you have to walk here. There's the bridge I crossed. this place, Hadong and Gure, is a place I really recommend to people who are visiting Korea. And as a Korean, I'm so thankful. So many people, even in Dublin, the place is kind of very small town compared to like New York or like Paris, London. Many people, they're now enjoying K culture and they want to travel to Korea. So, and of course, if it's your like first time stay in Korea, then you should visit Seoul and those places. But if you're visiting like for a second time, or if you really want to see the true beauty, like the nature of like Korea, I highly recommend this place, Gure and Hadong, especially during the springtime. This is amazing place. And honestly, to travel to here from Incheon Airport is not easy, but it is worth trying. And the way how you can get here, I think the best option, okay, always the best option is to hire a car and drive if you are eligible, right? But from Seoul to here, it will take about 4 or 5 hours. It's not that really hard drive. You just follow the motorway, what navigation tells you to do, then you're fine. And especially if you're traveling in a group of 4 or 5, then it will be cheaper to hire a decent car and just drive. If that's not possible, the other valid option will be to take a bus from one of the terminal that comes through the Hadong bus terminal. And after arriving at the terminal, take a taxi to your accommodation. The only thing that you have to be careful during the springtime in South Korea is the air pollution. It's kind of a mixture of the industrial pollution, factory pollution, plus the nature pollution, the sand that is coming from the Gobi Desert in Mongolia. All that kind of things mixed up, and it gives you a very unpleasant, like sore throat, the air pollution. And in springtime, South Korea, the country is notorious for that. I was so surprised when I first arrived in Korea like 5 days ago. I love jogging, going for a run in the morning, and my throat immediately got sore from the air pollution. Wow. It's so lovely. It's so nice. I might fly my Neo here. You see the drone? Hey. Just a quick shot would fine. Ever since I bought that drone, I'm not using DJI S3S that much, even though it's a much better drone. All the hassle of getting it out of the bag and trying to fly it was too much. And after using the Neo 2, I'm really finding a true joy of flying the drone because its compactness and easy to fly. Great little guy. Come. So this is my second Korean trip back to my home country. Last time I just stayed about a week. This is more than a week. However, this time I'm staying about a month and a half. Oh, whoa. So I requested the working from home from my company, and I think that's one of the good perks. If you work at IT company, you can do that. And the company HQ approved my request. So yes, I'm eligible. I'm using like 3 weeks of holiday plus 2 weeks from working from home. That makes about month and a half. The road on the other side is much more crowded than this one. That's a newly built road, and this one is an old road. And I think the county council deliberately kind of made it that way. And here, they renovated the old path and built this deck, amazing deck. It looks like you're from time to time thrown out onto the road. It's not a completely separated way. Like, honestly, the only place on the planet has that kind of cycling system is Netherlands. Everywhere else they don't. They build the cycle road first amongst any other thing. So that's why they are possible to do that. And the bigger problem is South Korean like a cycling system is that it is more focused on these like leisure, like tourist spots, not really providing the alternative transportation to the busiest place, the city center. Nobody cycles in South Korean city centers unless you are like a near those main cycling highway stuff, which is kind of rare, in my opinion. You can't really complain about the view. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. Ooh. Flowers got too heavy maybe. Yeah, so I bet if I use a couple of my Sony A7C2 with a DJI RS4 Mini gimbal, I bet it'll be amazing and I'm looking forward to it. And the weight will be like I said, 1.6, 1.7 gram. What the hell is that? Oh. It looks like a little bit tourist attraction, but it looks like I have to pay for that. It says Samjin River. Samjin is the name of this river. Samjin River Otter. You know the animal that looks like a beaver, like an otter park. I think they are doing like a protection of otters, their fellow cyclists too. So basically that's it for my today's cycling. It's only like 14 kilometers long, and I did about 20 kilometers of cycle yesterday, but I had to completely throw it out because the reason I already talked about the stabilization issue with the other camera, this camera, full frame camera. Anyways, I'm gonna rest a little bit here, sip a cup of coffee, and then with my mom travel back to the accommodation that we have. But anyways, long story short, it's a lovely cycle path here. You can from here, this is in the middle, there's another like 8 to 9 kilometers to the town called Gure, Sadong and Gure Greenway cycle path. Highly recommend if you are visiting Korea during springtime. Just be careful about the air pollution and the very, very crowded traffic that you see earlier in my video. It gets even worse during the festival period. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.